long day.
Excuse me, but are you Mr. Capello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
No, a minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Please, tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Capello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal?
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Cordona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the deities tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Capellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection, but if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Capello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed. Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes 12 times a day for 12 years. I do not recall.
Well, Mr. Capello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavor to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, there's little else I can do.
Mrs. Capello, please wait in the office. The inspector will be here soon.
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Capello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Capello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Basilio tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but, I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No, I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
You've had quite the day, Mrs. Capello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.
Hello there. The best on the market. You can wallop them, you can burn them. Nothing will work.
I bet he tested that himself. They sell door locks, padlocks. No Sherlocks, though. Probably for the best. Imagine dealing with two of you. Ugh.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Ill-fitting pants, wonky nose, and hair that appears to have been cut by your own hand. You must be Billy Lloyd.
Oh, it's you! I knew you'd come.
You did?
You're Mirko Gallia, the best investigative journalist on Cordona. I'm a fan of your work.
Alas, you're mistaken. The name is Sherlock Holmes, and your employer...
Oh, of course. Discretion. I'm sorry. I doubt the policeman upstairs heard me, though, so your secret is safe with me, Sherlock.
Mr. Capello told me you were present during the burglary and scared the criminal off the property?
There, you should have seen it. As soon as the burglars saw me, they went white as death. Ran out the back door of the office. I heard a thud and cat shrieks, so I think they went over the railing and into the bushes out back. Clearly, my reputation precedes me. Mr. Capello was so proud.
You're a guard, but you didn't give chase.
Well, by the time I made it outside, they were miles away. So I went back to help Mrs. Capello. That kind of gentlemanly courtesy is why I'm so well regarded round these parts.
What did the thief look like?
Shorter than me, mid-20s, a huge scar across the right cheek going from the eye. Short hair. She didn't look like a ghost. Too corporeal.
Hold on. She? You didn't think to mention the burglar was a woman?
Why did you assume it was a man? It's the 19th century, sir. Ambitious young women are out there pursuing a career, and I, for one, encourage it.
Yes, yes, spare me the sermon. When did the burglary happen?
After 10 in the evening. I was just talking to Mrs. Capello.
Does she normally work this late?
No, it's the first time it happened. Usually I'm alone at night. I was explaining to Mrs. Capello how drinking water every 3 hours can help with digestion, when she excused herself and went back upstairs. Then there was a scream, and I ran up to the office and...
I know what happened next, thank you. What about last evening? Do you have any more details about the break-in?
Of course. I write down everything that happens during my watch. Take a look.
Fastidious in its mundanity, but I will make of it what I can. I must go and inspect the crime scene. If I have further questions, Mr. Lloyd, I will find you.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be able to keep away.
Right.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
The bottle is half empty. A wine, well enjoyed. Recently used, but why would it be here?
Wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I'm a bit claustrophobic.
Bulging veins, cyanosis, bloodshot eyes, odd foaming in the mouth. Clear indications of blunt trauma, possibly inflicted before the victim was in the safe. Bruises, torn nails, bleeding was severe and continued at length. Blood on the safe door could have been left by the victim. Clothes are not fully buttoned. Was the victim dressing or undressing? What a rotten way to die.
Yeah, what a shame.
Do you know anything else about the dead body in the safe?
Well, there is the rule of threes. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours in harsh weather, and 3 minutes
Of you talking?
without air. I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, very enlightening, Mr. Lloyd, thank you.
I don't know. Oh, actually, no.
Have you noticed anything different about Mrs. Capello recently?
Not really. She talks to me more when I start my shift. Probably because of the 100 Best Curry Recipes book I'm reading. Oh, and we've been running out of paper a lot lately, so she often sends me out to buy more for her. She's very particular about the paper we use. Only one store on the island stocks it, and it's on the other side of the town. But I'm really fast.
Interesting, thank you.
I don't know. I know of it, but forgot.
What can you tell me about Mr. Capello?
He's a good employer, but very focused on work, and very serious about security, of course, since he employed a night watch of my caliber. Not everyone appreciates his strict business approach, though. Store clerks don't seem to last long in the office.
Good to know.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
A concert program from 7 years ago. An Augusta La Duca is listed as a harpist in the orchestra. Two theatre tickets for Shakespeare's Othello. The performance is tomorrow.
Have to respect the classics. I swear I just saw a lion out there, on the railing.
Well-organised workplace?
Mr. Capello is the best.
Okay, this chap is seriously creepy.
Do you know anything about these entries?
No, but Mr. Capello is so well organised. I use a different method, very popular among the Buddhist monks. You create an attic in your mind and...
I'm familiar. Keep it tidy, put only necessary information in, remove unnecessary information regularly.
What? No, it's called an attic. You just stuff it with everything. You never know what might prove helpful someday.
That is profoundly upsetting.
I know of it, but forgot.
Do you know whose keys these are?
Probably Mr. Capello's. Police took him so suddenly. I have the same set, but it's more efficient. Has fewer keys.
So you don't have access to the entire office?
No. Only Mr. and Mrs. Capello have the key to the back door.
Do you know what this note might be about?
I cannot presume to know another's mind, of course, but I think Mr. and Mrs. Capello have been having some familial difficulties, probably due to their lack of children. One of my oldest friends helps couples with their relationship troubles, and he always says...
You don't have to continue.
Oh, well, he says that to me as well, but I'm perfectly happy to.
No, I insist.
I'm going to catch the criminal myself. But later.
They sell door locks, padlocks. No Sherlocks though, probably for the best. Imagine dealing with two of you. Ugh.
The letter F is inscribed within a four-leaf clover pattern. Passe muraille. Walk through walls in French. Our thief seems rather arrogant. A comprehensive set of lockpicks, recently cleaned with no fresh scratches.
maybe it would be wise to take a look around outside before we enter. Just a thought.
Other gangs are planning an attack on the backyard, boy.
Merhaba.
Hello, mister. I have some information for you.
I'm not interested in the advice of a man like you. Move aside. I've places to be.
Despite being used, these goods are still...
Buy some clothes and help me feed my family.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming. I couldn't miss the party. Dodge this! I couldn't miss the party.
No more.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Just die!
Don't bother moving. You've lost. Too simple.
The snuff's... It's all your...
I couldn't miss the party.
No more.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Eat lead!
Time to knock... The snuff's...
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Okay, I give up.
And here we are, Miss Sevigny. A place where we can talk about all your recent activities. We have a nice profile on you, you know.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Is there nothing you didn't do, Miss Sevigny? Thieve for the gang, break into the Armor Capello office, kill Niccolo Detti?
What? Kill? I didn't kill nobody. No, How?
So you admit the rest. I suppose you won't mind explaining some things to me then. You were in the Armor Capello office yesterday evening, Miss Sevigny. The same place that Niccolo Detti was found dead today. What happened?
How would you know? You can't prove anything?
It's written all over you, Miss Sevigny. I presume you did not intend your evening to end with a fall over the railing and a fracas with felines. Need I continue?
Zut alors! It was just a job, nothing else. I was asked to come. Here, see for yourself. I don't know who hired me, but I think they wanted to pin the crime on me. Poor Niccolo.
When were you offered this job?
Ah, mon Dieu. I don't remember precisely. I think the letter arrived around 9:30 in the evening. It sounded tricky, but the money was good.
And you arrived at the office?
Perhaps 45 minutes later? I am very good, sir. I was in and out in 5 minutes.
I don't like lies.
No, wait. Okay. It took 15 minutes. All right? Still impressive, no?
You knew Mr. Detti, how?
Niccolo and I grew up together. I hadn't seen him in years, then ran into him on the street, smiling with some lovely lady on his arm.
And that was the last time you saw him alive?
Wait, until I found him dead yesterday. That same woman was there, too. It can't be coincidence.
You saw a woman in the office?
Mm-hmm. She started screaming, so I slammed the safe door and ran when I saw a guard coming.
Your thieving days may well be over, Miss Sevigny. Until this matter is resolved, you will remain here. Good day. What exactly was your relationship with Niccolo Detti?
Who? What are you talking about?
Madam, please, a young woman dedicated to her music and an enthusiastic artist, your marriage to Basilio could not have offered all you needed. And then about 6 months ago, you met Niccolo Detti. There was a spark, you started to see each other. It brought passion back into your life.
How could you?
But your tryst didn't go unnoticed. Felicia Sevigny spotted you with Niccolo, but rather than cease your affair, you took care to avoid the public eye. You started working with your husband at the office and met your lover there in the evening after Basilio departed. Billy would not notice, and you hoped neither would your husband. Do I have this right so far?
Yes. I love Basilio, I truly do. But his first passion is his work. I respect that, but it left me adrift. Niccolo. Sweet Niccolo. He was the man I needed. If he had had any other name, I would have talked to Basilio. But he was a Detti.
And your husband suspected something.
I think he did. He asked questions. Billy's schedule was moved forwards. Yes, he suspected.
And thus we arrive at the heart of the matter. How did Mr. Detti end up deceased in the safe?
I do not know.
Madam?
I don't know anything about his death.
Are you sure this is how you wish to proceed?
It is the truth. Please, just leave me be.
Apologies, Miss...
Oh, what a long day.
I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
Were you aware of this, Mr. Capello? Of the relationship between your wife and Niccolo Detti?
Enough! I will not hear it. Augusta is an impressionable woman feeling the stress of this horrible situation. She does not understand what she's saying.
I see. So, you think...
I think that if you want to help, you should stop bothering my wife and find the criminal responsible. Not much to say. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
Mr. Capello, have you anything to say about the burglar's claims?
Not a whit. The woman is a liar and a criminal. I don't give it the slightest credence, and neither should you. Another question? Another question? Another question? I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this. Not much to say. I'm sorry. Another question?
I'm interested in some entries in your diary that may prove important. Could you elaborate on these ones here?
Bene. I won't name the detective, but rest assured that is unrelated to the investigation. It is just one of our clients. And those safe entries are about an interested party who was going to purchase the product. We met yesterday, and today were to finalize the transaction. Alas, that opportunity is no more.
You've been a good help.
Not much to say. I'm sorry.
What was your intent behind this note?
This is private, young man, and hardly relevant.
Its relevance, as it were, remains to be seen.
My wife Augusta joined me in business half a year ago, but works late hours. I worry because I love her. What else do you need to know?
I appreciate your candor. How long have you known your wife, Mr. Capello?
How is that relevant, young man?
Please, I need a complete picture of all the parties involved. Consider, perhaps, the possibility that the burglar was targeting your wife.
It seems unlikely, though if a Detti was out to threaten my wife... We met 7 years ago. Augusta was a harpist with an Italian orchestra. The passion in her eyes back then. I am glad she still has some of it now.
And you and your wife get along well?
I love her most dearly, and I know Augusta loves me. I fear someday she may be bored at work, but I try to give her all she wants.
I will return. It is a shame it has come to this, but it is patently obvious that you are responsible for Niccolo Detti's death.
How dare you? I wouldn't want him to.
I see you need some persuasion. I know that Niccolo Detti went to the office to meet you. It was a midnight tryst. Niccolo would visit the office once Basilio left, but this time he returned. So you hid Niccolo in the safe. A foolish move.
I didn't know the code had changed. It was the only choice. I couldn't let him be found. I loved him.
Really? You could have saved his life by simply speaking with your husband, but you sought to free him another way.
I don't follow you.
The fact remains you chose to risk Niccolo's life rather than call for your husband, and I know why.
See? You cannot prove anything. Do not presume to tell me my feelings, boy. Leave me be.
I don't think Mrs. Capello did this on purpose. I would have let her go. Come on, Sherry. Say, I am the law.
killed with one perfect shot to it.
Here, grab a seat.
You even brought a book, huh?
May I have... Same as always.
You just don't give up, do you?
Oh, come on, let's get closer. I can't see anything from here.
No, too early.
So we're just going to sit here all day?
Patience, John. I have a feeling this is more than simple blackmail. We'll be close when the blackmailer leaves, and then...
Go! Oh, not a pretty sight, this. Head trauma. Fatal. Gravity is cruel like that.
A rather frivolous accessory for a military man. Shame it's all bloody now.
What's happened?
He was stabbed several times before he fell. The shape of the wounds suggest a curved blade. A key, and where there's a key, there's a lock.
It's almost like he's dancing.
Dancing the danse macabre. The knife is missing.
No signs of life, no pulse. I'm declaring Corporal Ridley dead.
What's happened? Why is it?
Please move along. The police are on their way. Everything's under control.
Is it now? The General's own son has fallen out of the tower, and not without help, it seems. I need to inspect the scene, and quickly.
The corporal? He ordered me not to let anyone inside without telling him. But now... Wait, are you saying it's a murder?
A brief examination of the body was enough for me to conclude that he was murdered by a blade of Ottoman origin.
You can't possibly be so certain.
Oh, I can be. The corporal suffered deep stab wounds which were inflicted with great force. They were made by a knife meant for cutting, not stabbing. A curved blade, such as an Ottoman jambir or a Gurkha kukri. I haven't seen any Gurkhas on the island, so the conclusion is quite obvious.
Amazing. You do seem more than competent. All right, go in. I'll wait here for the police.
Did you see anything suspicious?
No, sir, nothing. Corporal Ridley had to attend to some private matters upstairs. No one went in, no one came out. Oh, but that means the killer is still inside. Are you sure you want to go in alone?
I'm not alone. I have my friend with me.
Your friend? You mean your gun? There's no one at...
Never mind, I'll be fine.
The killer's gone. Vanished into thin air. Imagine if we'd been able to get up here 10 years ago. Oh, it would have been the perfect base.
This blade is a naval officer's dirk. Sharp and well cared for. The edge is covered with blood, but the tip is clean. Can you smell the body odor, John? Someone's been hiding in here. Someone sweaty.
Unless it's a laundry chest. But then it's a different mystery altogether. The case of the vanishing sweaty pantaloons.
This cigarette is still smouldering.
There's a nice view from here, don't you think?
Exactly 100 mangears. The killer didn't touch them.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Ridley was attacked by his blackmailer, but before being pushed out the window, Ridley managed to wound him. The killer must still be bleeding.
Imagine if we'd been able to get up here 10 years ago. Oh, it would have been the perfect base. Come on, let's take the rope down.
I'd rather take the stairs.
What a bore.
So what happened? Was there anyone upstairs?
No, the killer escaped. We're dealing with a carefully planned assassination. What can you tell me about the deceased?
We were from the same unit, stationed together at the barracks by the bridge, but I can't say I knew him well. Maybe someone at the barracks could tell you more.
Do you know if the corporal had any enemies? Someone who would want him dead?
No, none that I know of. But then again, there's always the Ottomans. They'd want all of us soldiers dead, I reckon.
I'm on guard, Sherry, so don't worry.
Oh, who's that?
The barracks are off limit to civilians.
That was a rough landing. Is this familiar to you?
I can't help you, friend.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, but I never heard of this.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose? Wow. Amazing, right?
Disturbing is more like it. Aha! A curved knife covered in fresh blood. There we go. Doubt that this eagle is purely ornamental.
Careful, Sherry. Locals aren't too happy with what you're doing.
I'd better leave the knife here.
Leave it!
Now is a bad
Don't
time
touch!
to ruffle any feathers.
Infidel! Don't! No! What? Go away from it! Go away! What? It's sacred! Leave it!
The barracks are off limit to civilians. That pillar is a...
Don't miss out on my unique clothes. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
You aren't here to relieve me from duty, are you? Oh well. You aren't here to relieve me from duty, are you?
Excuse me, just one question.
Ah, I know this, yeah. Let me help you.
May I ask for your assistance?
Ah, I know this, yeah. Let me help you.
Are you able to help me?
I don't know, but I'm sure there are others who'd be glad to help a fella in uniform.
Ridley's blood is on Ottoman hands. I just know it.
May I ask you something?
I don't know, but I'm sure there are others who'd be glad to help a fella in uniform.
Nice. A room after my own heart.
A little austere for my taste. There are scratches on the floor. The locker was moved. Being the son of a general must be difficult. Rise all the way to the top. Make me proud, son.
Can you imagine me wearing that uniform? I think I'd look rather dashing.
That's quite a hefty sum. Enough to start a new life. 2 tickets to London would have been a very different ending for the corporal's story. Help me, please.
I'd help you if I could, but I know nothing.
Could you help me?
I won't speak to you.
Excuse me, just one question.
Walk on, sailor. I'm not saying a word.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
Could you help me?
Listen, friend. I like your face. I'll tell you.
Who's there? Who's there?
Another knife in the pillar.
Don't miss out on my Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Keep walking, stranger.
Who's there?
Don't miss out on my
Oriental
unique
rugs at a good
clothes.
price.
Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
Nasılsın? Ne haber? Nasılsın?
You are expected. Quickly, come in.
My love, oh, I'm so... Who are you? Where's Mark? Answer me or I'll call for help.
You will do no such thing, Jalen. We both know it.
How do you know my name? And why are you wearing this scarf? What has happened?
A flood of questions, but I only have one answer. Mark Ridley is dead.
No, this cannot be. You're lying. Tell me you're lying.
Keep your voice down, miss. I don't have time for a lady's hysterics. Mark has been murdered, and I believe that the murderer is part of this house.
No, it was a secret. We were meeting. How could anyone find out?
The truth always comes out one way or another, but enough of this. Tell me, have you seen anything suspicious here?
No, I heard the servants talking about blood near the main entrance, but I didn't think...
This is too much for me. I can't.
Why did you have to be so mean to her?
I wasn't mean. Now is not the time for pity.
Is that you or your reptilian brain talking? I'll be right here.
A bloody trail. Let's see where it leads. Pile of fresh clothes. How convenient. All soaked in blood. Well, a fresh shirt is as good a lead as any.
So, think you can identify the killer on the first try?
Huh. Do you doubt me?
Do you think they'd mind if I washed my shirt? I haven't changed in days and I'm starting to smell.
Leave me be.
The killer is wearing a fresh shirt, remember? This chap looks like he's been rolling around in mud.
What are you staring at, you crazy woman?
So, here you are. The wounded eagle in its eyrie.
What the hell? An Englishman here? Why are you wearing a dress?
I hate to interrupt you while you're struggling with your conscience. Perhaps you ought to have made peace with it before doing the deed.
My conscience is perfectly clear, Britt. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Indeed I do. You are the obedient son of this house. Obedient and wounded. But let me explain.
I am Osai, son of Hassan. You are on my father's property, and you better stop all this jabbering nonsense.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have every reason to believe that you were involved in the murder of Mark Ridley.
Are you accusing me?
That's right, I am. I recovered the murder weapon. It bears an eagle crest, the same crest that is so proudly displayed within your house.
And a proud house we are. My father speaks for all Ottomans on this island, remember that.
Regrettably, I failed to detect much pride in the callow way you ambushed the corporal. It couldn't have been very comfortable for you inside that chest, waiting to catch the corporal off guard. Couldn't you find a better place to hide?
You're a fine one to talk of tactics. You're dressed as a woman.
If you'll pardon the metaphor, he was a fishbone that became lodged in your throat. You had a strong motive to see him dead. At the heart of this crime is a woman, Jalen. I wonder who she might be to you. Your wife? Unlikely. Your sister?
Enough! Don't you dare say a word about my sister. It was he who led her to sin. That son of a dog, Mark Ridley. He spat on our traditions and brought shame to our family. His father promised us peace, but I knew how it would be. You feed the crow, it tears your eyes out.
So you risked the peace to right your honor.
I had no other choice. Not that you'd understand, Brit.
Azai, you are under arrest for the murder of Mark Ridley. You'll have to come with me now.
First you sneak into my house, and now this? We'll put you down like the rabid dog you are.
I'm coming.
No more crime for you until next month.
Don't. The snuff's ready.
Too simple. Don't bother.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I couldn't miss the party.
No more crime for you and
give him the pepper snuff.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest, my friend.
I'm gonna hurt you.
It's all yours.
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
Hello there. Don't bother, move.
Give him the pepper snuff.
It's time for you to go to prison, Azai. Come with me, and let's do so peacefully this time.
You'll regret this, Brit. Get out of my face, Brit.
Mr. Holmes, I am in no position to reprimand you, but you should know that your unwarranted intervention will cost us dearly.
I did what I had to do. The killer was brought to justice.
I didn't expect you to be so narrow-minded. You have undermined your brother's efforts, and now we will have to face the consequences.
Such is the price of law and order, Mr. Estevo. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions.
Law and order? You are clearly oblivious of the bigger picture, Mr. Holmes. There is no point in us discussing it further. I bid you good day.
You did everything right, Sherry, no matter what Mycroft or his henchmen will say.
Oh, so it has taken root.
What's taken root? As I recall, when we were growing up, this theatre didn't welcome kids.
You've forgotten, John. Come to the back entrance and I'll refresh your memory.
Yeah, I still see nothing.
You need to focus, my dear friend. Watch me.
So what's here? I don't see anything.
Here was our glorious stage. Ring any bells?
Ah, we don't need to dwell on the past, Sherry.
And Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, taking poison. What was the name of that girl? Oh, Georgina, of course. She was our neighbour.
Oh, I remember her. She liked you.
And there you were, the best supporting actor. My silent scene partner, my Yorick. Your presence inspired me and brought me to tears.
Yeah, it hurt to know that's all I could be. Inspiration. I couldn't even play the king's ghost. How's that for irony? To be or not to be? Indeed.
I know why you wanted to forget. The show forced you to confront your limits, except no one else would ever see you but me. Why do you think I cried? In the end, the audience was thrilled. You can still hear their roars after the final act.
You were so pleased with yourself when the theatre director came down to admire your work.
He applauded. A huge gesture from a man for whom children on stage was an anathema.
One small step for a man, one giant leap for students of the dramatic arts.
Childhood is a time of naivety. I cannot now imagine seeking a career as an actor, drinking wine all day and gaily treading the boards at night.
Yet you often pretend to be someone else in your search for the truth. You can't act like this side of you disappeared completely.
Quite. This, above all, to thine own self be true.
Guests of Cordova, the treasures await you.
Does it look remotely familiar to you?
A large crowd gathered. I was here, young and passionate about the truth. Mycroft stood close to me. He was keen on my attending every official event, that I might prepare myself for the Crown service.
Lucky for you, that was the last time he did it.
There was a stage here, a tribute. The governor gave his speech there. He was lying through his teeth and nobody noticed, or didn't want to, but I noticed. I was extremely irritated by his lies. I shouted my opinions very loudly for everyone to hear.
The crowd went wild.
Mycroft was angry but calm. He led me away from the stage. He told me that I should keep my mouth shut, and that silence is golden. I couldn't stand for that.
Behold, Sherlock Holmes's famous adherence to justice was born here.
It looks exactly like it was a decade ago. I can almost feel the memories hitting me. Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace D. Oram. What a monstrosity! Where could such a creature even survive? Some light reading for my spare time. Oh, I remember now. I never liked the way the books were sorted on these shelves.
That you didn't. Your brother often struggled to find his reading materials after our visits.
An archaeological find should be here. It's far better than beneath the old city walls. An excellent example of Mayan culture from Guatemala. Some light reading for my spare time.
When you're finished here, can we build a wigwam from the blankets? Like in the good old days?
Some light reading for my spare time.
Oh, the room looks nice now. It's comforting to see the way it was meant to be.
My mother always preferred to spend her rare moments of lucidity with me.
That's true. She even stopped Mycroft from joining you. Remember?
I do. He didn't show it, but he was upset. I think Mother paid more attention to me because I was younger.